Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. Happy Thursday, almost Friday. So glad to have everybody here and hopping in on this session today. Got a lot of great stuff to cover with you and give you a reality check on what social media is looking like today and what's actually working in today's landscape and what is not really worth your time. So I'm really excited and looking forward to this session today. And as everybody's jumping in, I'm going to go ahead and get my slides going. All right. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So as everybody's joining in today, welcome again to the webinar. Thank you all for joining me today. We're going to cover a lot of great stuff, have a reality check on what social media marketing is looking like. And those of you who have joined these sessions before and have seen me as your host, you know I love talking social media. In fact, that was my very first gig. I was a social media marketing intern, and as many of us do, ended up wearing many hats in my career. Beyond that. So I was a sophomore in Louisiana, a college in Louisiana. That's where I got my bachelor's degrees in marketing. And literally since I started social, I haven't dropped it. I absolutely love it. That's one of my favorite parts about marketing. So I cannot wait to unpack everything with you guys today. In fact, while everybody's coming in, I would love to take a few minutes and let's test out that question box. And I would love to know where you are chiming in from today. Just let me know where you're located, because I love seeing all the different locations, dates, everything come in, and it's coast to coast, and we're all spread out, but it's awesome that I get to connect with all of you, and we all get to come together and learn how to improve social media marketing. And I'm going to call out a couple of these responses here, just because I want to see. Oregon, welcome, Pennsylvania, Florida, goodness gracious, we got all kinds of St. Louis, Canada, welcome. We are spread out again. Oh, I love this. Seattle, Ohio. Hey, Ohio. I'm actually in Ohio right now visiting my brother. We have North Carolina, Colorado, Austin, Texas, Illinois. Oh, I have a fellow social media marketing intern in North Carolina. Well, I hope you enjoy this session today, as well as everybody else on the call, because the strategies that we got laid out, all the platforms that we're going to cover, I really think is going to help everybody exceed and really get the best out of social media and your strategy for your business in 2026. My goodness, we're still pouring in. Tuscaloosa, California. I was waiting on that one. We got DC. Oh, this is awesome. I love it. I love it. I wish I could call out on every single one of you, but I am very excited to have all of you join me today. But we've got to move forward because we've got a lot of good stuff to cover. So just a welcome message. Again, some few housekeeping notes too. So this webinar will be recorded, and so there's no need to take any notes today. You can find and recap this recorded session on LocaliQ or WordStream's YouTube channel. And then all of the slides, including the notes, will be sent directly to your inbox. And lastly, do not forget to engage me with all the questions and comments throughout the session. I will love to look through them at the end of the session whenever we have our live Q&A. So very much looking forward to that at the end. So just to make sure everybody's on the same page, on the same track with who LocaliQ is, some of you may have already attended our webinars before, and some of you already may be working with us at LocaliQ or our thought leadership brand WordStream or USA Today Network. But no matter how you got to us, welcome and thanks for joining. So let's talk about who LocaliQ is, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. So to put it simply, LocaliQ is how businesses attract and retain the ideal customers. So we do that through a digital platform supporting vertical data from over 5 million campaigns, and our marketing experts take it a personalized approach with them and truly know your industry and getting what's right for you. And then we take it even a step forward through our AI-powered lead management for faster follow-up and conversions. And we are a very proud award-winning partner to all of the major advertising platforms. This is something we're very, very proud of. As you can see, all those beautiful badges on the bottom row there. In fact, we actually just had a new partnership come, and it's TikTok. We are proud to be a new TikTok official marketing partner with them. Very excited to be one of the few. So each of these badges really represent throughout the major publishers and all that we do to really, that's not granted to any just marketing platform out there, right? We have to go through vigorous requirements, and we have to have display that clear success for our customers through the campaign results, through our thought leadership. And so this is definitely a proud showcase to have. And obviously stay connected with us. We would love to keep you updated with all the latest insights, what's going on in marketing, tips, and resources to help you grow your business. All things marketing, all things business, all things great. You can do that on all of the major social media channels here for Local IQ, as well as WordStream. Also visit our website for all the latest blogs daily, resources, free guides. Definitely encourage you to check it out, guys. And to introduce you today's webinar host, I am Alex Howard. I am the brand manager of Local IQ. I am in my 9th year of marketing and brand management. I have my master's in executive management. My undergrad is in marketing. And I went to school at ULM in Louisiana. And I have dabbled, like I said at the very beginning of the call, and if you're just now joining, recap, I've worn so many hats in my career. Starting out with a social media internship that led me into sales, that actually I was a end-to-end. I built paid campaigns for a lot of, like, across Google and Facebook. So I got to have that experience. And then also I even had my own marketing agency at some point. So got to dabble in all the things marketing. And so, which gratefully led me here today, though, to Local IQ, and here to you guys to share some really great stuff with you. I am based out of Dallas, Texas, and I would love to stay connected with you all. I've loved hosting these webinars and seeing people message me afterwards just with comments or even follow-up questions through LinkedIn. So please, please go add me, and would love to stay connected with you. So looking at today's agenda, we're going to talk through the social media platforms that are worth prioritizing in 2026, and then why trying to be everywhere often leads to not so great results. And then we're going to have a few thought starters and Q&A at the end. But those of you who have attended us before, and you know we love to keep you on your feet. So kicking off with a pop quiz in the question box. Just to warm you up with the topic today, I just want to know what your favorite social media platform is to use. And this could be even just for personal use, but then also you could even chime in and say for business, Facebook. You know, would love to know just what your favorite social media platform is. Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Let me see, and I'll call out some of these responses. All right, I see a couple of Facebook. Okay. Instagram, that's my favorite too. Instagram's my favorite. Got some TikToks pouring in here. Okay. Instagram for personal. Blue Sky. Okay, interesting. I have seen a couple of walkthroughs and like been on the back end and like seen the user experience. I personally do not have an account, but I'd be interested. YouTube. I am becoming a big fan of YouTube. That's becoming kind of like a new streaming thing for me versus like Netflix, because I'm a documentary nerd. Love it. LinkedIn, obviously for professional audience. MySpace. I love that. I so miss MySpace because guys, when I was like a master coder and coding my own like personal web, my MySpace page, I loved it. I was actually pretty good at it too. And the top friends. Never TikTok. Okay. I mean, it's a hit or miss for some people, especially with, you know, the launch and all the new stuff that's coming out. So I get it. Okay. I wish I can call every single one of you, but we got to move on. We got a lot of stuff to uncover. So let's go ahead and thank you for chiming in. Now let's roll into the social media platforms that are worth prioritizing in 2026 and those who are after I give you the context, you'll see is it the best platform for me to pursue? If it's a platform that you haven't already been on, we'll unpack it all. Starting off with, what are the top most popular social platforms in the United States in 2026? YouTube is #1 most popular channel in the US, followed by Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, and TikTok. And the largest audience growth platform year over year is TikTok. Looking at the breakdown of year-over-year social platform audience growth worldwide, this isn't just the US. In the year-over-year audience growth, it's no surprise that TikTok had the largest year-over-year audience growth at over 17%. And since most of the top platforms got a bump as well, as you can see here, except for Twitter or X, it seems that the overall social media usage is definitely growing. So now let's focus on what the platforms are most popular for marketers in 2026. So coming at #1, we have Facebook. And then we got Instagram following that, LinkedIn, YouTube, and then we have X, formerly was Twitter. We have TikTok on the climb, and then we have Threads, which if you're not familiar, that's basically Instagram's version of Twitter. So now let's dive into all the top platforms that are worth prioritizing in 2026. Okay, we're going to start off at the very top of the list with Facebook. So why is Facebook so valuable to marketers? So one, local marketing. Facebook is right up there with Google My Business as one of the top local directories. And when you think about it, a Facebook page, business page, it contains a huge surprise of things like descriptions, what kind of category your business is in. You can even include pricing. You could do contact info, hours, photos, call to actions to go to your website. You can even showcase reviews on your Facebook page. And you got instant message for that, instant customer support if they have any questions. So it makes these pages incredibly impactful. And they're also linked directly. So if you're listed on Google, that channel or Facebook is linked in the Google directory. So very valuable on local marketing. But Facebook is also great for community and relationship building. It's a great channel to keep customers updated and connect with your local community. Many people often use the business page to check for announcements or store closings, sales, or just any recent information, any deals or specials you may have going on during the holidays. And if you use your page like this, your customers and close followers will know to check your page frequently, right? I don't know about you guys, but definitely for anything local, if it's a restaurant or if it's maybe even a boutique or something, the first place I go and look is Facebook. I look them up on Facebook because it showcases more of a humanized side where you can see inside and get a sneak peek of what the environment and atmosphere looks like and find out kind of details, through what we just kind of covered. I just have found it really, really resourceful. So, and then you can also think about how you can engage, right, on Facebook. So you got Facebook Lives during a live event. You can answer questions through Messenger and more. So building that strong community is a great way to showcase your business here on Facebook. And then also just from a local marketing standpoint. And big perk about Facebook ads can reach up to 34% of the adult population, and that is the highest percentage of all social media platforms. So of course, Facebook is one of the best channels for advertising. So paid advertising, thanks to its size and its targeting capabilities, Facebook is right up there with Google as the top digital ad platform. The average Facebook user clicks on 12 ads per month. And it has lower costs compared to Google Ads costs. So the average right now for cost per lead on Facebook is around $27 compared to Google's cost per lead at around $70 for Google search. So if your goal is integrated growth, right? You're in a great company. You can advertise directly on the Facebook platform, or like many of you on this call, you utilize a partner like LocaliQ to unify that Google and social ads so your budget works like a single search engine instead of scattered parts. And 70% of Facebook users visit a local business page at least once a week. So to wrap up with all of that, takeaway, Facebook is an essential channel for your marketing strategy. Promote your page, use it to build relationships, keep customers updated, and connect with your local community. And let's talk about content types on Facebook right now, because, you know, algorithm, everything is always moving at such a pace where we got to keep up. So when it comes to content on Facebook, variety rules. So Reels, much like those shorts or TikTok-like videos, get the most engagement on Facebook, or image posts are up next, and they garner engagement rates like a little, I think it was like a little 0.10%. To even 0.12%, so not bad. So you can still see engagement being generated there, even though video content is kind of taking off everywhere, right? And then good old-fashioned link posts have fallen behind engagement rates. That's kind of anticipated just as SERP updates and how zero-click is now a thing. But video is generally the most engaging everywhere, but what's unique about Facebook is how many non-video posts you'll see in the feed. And so yes, video is great, but on Facebook, variety rules. Let's look over top industries. So top industries capturing highest conversion rates with Facebook ads. And this is with lead objective. This could be if your goal is to capture signups, form fills, or any lead conversion event. The number one is restaurant and food with a stunning 18.25% average conversion rate. And I think this could be a reflection of local targeting, right, that we just talked about. Direct order links or even those reservation form fills. I'm always seeing DoorDash ads on my Facebook feed and trying to get me to sign up for their DoorDash Pass loyalty program. And so I will admit, I use DoorDash often, but I haven't signed up for the loyalty program. So that is a perfect example of retargeting ads done right. And so moving on, what do we got for number two? Attorney and legal services comes out in number two, followed by education and instruction and real estate after that. Now, if we're talking about when it comes to organic engagement on Facebook, the industries that have captured the highest engagement rates on Facebook are real estate and health and fitness takes crown. Pop quiz. You know, guys, I just want to make sure that you're still with me as we move forward into this content. So, what social media platform do you think is the best for product discovery? I'm really looking forward to seeing these answers. Which social channel do you think is the best for product discovery? All right, I'm going to look and see these answers. I'm seeing a lot. Okay, TikTok, lots of TikToks. Okay. Instagram. Okay, got a couple of Instagrams coming in here. TikTok. So far, that's majority of the feedback pouring in. Oh, we got a Facebook. We got a Facebook. TikTok, then Facebook, Meta. I mean, you're not wrong. Meta is that, you know, the encompassing of Facebook and Instagram. So TikTok. Okay. So far, just like from even split, I feel like TikTok and Instagram are flooding. I finally got a YouTube. Okay. We'll cover some good stuff about YouTube too and all of the platforms that we're looking at here. So really excited to continue and reveal the result. And the top social media channels for product discovery comes in at Instagram at number one. So purchase intent on Instagram is the highest on Instagram, with 61% of social media users turning to Instagram for product discovery, the highest among all social networks. So Instagram has also become the platform for conversion. So 60% of users say that they rely on Instagram for product research, a 16% increase from last year. So plus, the 72% of the users make purchase decisions based on Instagram content, which I found very fascinating. The next top channel for product discovery is Facebook and TikTok coming in at number 3, YouTube at 4, and X is at number 5. So let's dive into Instagram. Let's talk about it. So Instagram, if your brand is not showcasing products here because it is very much known for e-commerce, you are missing out. And after we just covered the stats that we did, we're going to unpack, and hopefully this is added to your strategy if not already. So over 140,000 users visit business pages on Instagram each minute. That's not every day, that's each minute, which also blows my mind. It's popular for organic engagement and also influencer marketing. And yes, you see SEO here. SEO is certainly not dead, and it's definitely evolving just beyond your website. Instagram recently announced its restriction on allowing the number of hashtags in a post, which I found very interesting. You are now only allowed to incorporate 5 hashtags into your post. And at the same time, the platform is putting more focus on AI, algorithm-focused discovery, and this means optimizing your content for Instagram search is even more important now than ever. And I'm not sure if you guys have noticed on Google search page, but you know, the search results are now including, you might see an Instagram post, you might see a TikTok, you might see a YouTube video, and you see Reddit, right? So, I mean, SEO is definitely a steer glance, and the fact that this platform is heavily focused on it with that change in hashtags definitely shows significant shift in how important SEO is in platform as well. So let's talk about creative engagement by industry. So right now you see in the purple, we have photo engagement rate, right? So we're doing it split between creative type, photo versus video engagement rate. So as it also comes at no surprise, the industries that tend to thrive on Instagram are travel, beauty, fashion, health and fitness, lifestyle, parenting, business, music, photography, food, and animals. But here are some of the surprising findings from other studies. Like for one, the industries on Instagram with the highest engagement rate were health and beauty and healthcare. Healthcare I was kind of surprised about, right? Because I think when you go through, you know, as influencer marketing was one of the perks about working on here, which I think is a really good humanized approach to your marketing, right? I mean, everybody thinks influencers and everybody is thinking more like health and beauty and products, but when I saw healthcare pop up, I thought that was very interesting. All right, now let's go to our next platform, YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And per day, an average user spends 49 minutes on the platform per day. So with stats like those, we can say that why the value in YouTube is absolutely popular for entertainment and educational product content, a lot of that being how-to content. And we've actually seen that. I feel that is a great way that we've seen businesses test out products or even, you know, just showcase a demo with like their products. I think is a great format of this content. Sponsored influencers is very big on here, and long form videos, because the engagement rate's there. This audience is used to, you know, versus Instagram and TikTok, it's just such a flash where you have, you know, the what is it called, doom scrolling. You don't really have too much of their attention because they're just scrolling. YouTube, people actually come here to be a sponge and absorb, I think. And so definitely think you don't have to chop down and speed up whatever it is that you're trying to get across about your service or your product, your brand on this platform is very valuable for that. Going to product marketing, let's talk about how it's evolved, and especially with the new creative formats on YouTube. So product marketing, video marketing boosts conversion rates by 80%. Engaging viewers with compelling product demos, kind of like those how-tos I just covered, and the new creative types like the shoppable shorts, the product carousels, and even the direct links that are embedded in the video content are transforming YouTube into a direct sales channel. And because of that, a stronger emphasis from Google on driving measurable conversions directly from video content, not just brand awareness, which is crucial. So now, what does that really mean? It means you need to focus on the quality inputs, right? To really take advantage of this as, you know, how they're sprucing it to be more of that direct sales channel, which means what do you need to do on your end once you capture that conversion? high-quality landing pages, diverse and compelling creative content assets to engage them in these new creative formats, and also making sure the measurable conversion goals are prominent. All right, you know me, I got another pop quiz for you. Okay, now as we've kind of combed through a few of the platforms that are, whenever, and even brought the stats to prove that these are definitely worth being a part of your strategy in 2026. Before we break down others, I want to know what your biggest challenge your business faces right now with social media marketing right now, today. Would love to know what those biggest challenges are, or even just the biggest. And I will be on the lookout as I'm seeing these responses come in. Okay. Okay, so targeting, content creation, I get that. It's hard, like keeping up with social media, not only do you have to, there we go, I'm sorry. Okay, keeping up with social media, not only do you have to, obviously, you have to make time for creative thought. Because the copywriting, yes, AI is a great tool and can help us with, some kind of format, but you gotta be personal, and you have to, anything that is unique and valuable, right? It differentiates yourself. People are getting smarter now, where they can see a social media post and know it was AI generated, and like even creating graphics, scheduling out those posts to make sure that you get it out on the right time, the best time when your audience is online. Even like, I'm calling out some of them. Yes, and thank you guys for calling that out. I appreciate that. I saw the closeout. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm looking. Biggest challenging, figuring out influencer marketing on social. That's a big one. And really, and I would love to cover that at the end of the session. If we want to talk about influencer marketing opportunities, organically and even paid, I would love to cover that at the end on our live Q&A. Targeting our local community and not getting random views from people. That's a great, totally understand that. Generating interaction. Don't see a lot of engagement compared to a few years ago. Valid, and I can absolutely cover that as well at the end. Consistency, yes. Like I said, there's a lot that goes into social media. It's not what it used to be, and having the consistency and always feeling the need to keep up is, I feel that on a spiritual level. Sales, okay, sales. Okay, we're definitely going to cover some really good stuff, I think, and I'm happy to help answer anything that you have sales regarding on social media at the end on our live Q&A. Gaining followers. These are all really good things that I can totally relate to, and you're not alone. I go to my LinkedIn and I'm seeing businesses, all sizes, say the exact same things that you're talking about, guys. So as we keep moving forward, let's talk about the one that's on the rise, the one that's actually growing the most, captured the most following, and has the most downloads. Let's unpack it. So entertainment, yes, is still the biggest draw of TikTok. 95% of the users say the reason they log in is to be entertained, right? Now, this one I really found interesting. So reviews have always been a great way to build trust for your customers and with your customers. And recently, TikTok has become the most commonly used social network for sourcing reviews and recommendations. And so for marketers, that trust fuels conversions, and at least according to TikTok's own data. And the platform says its users are 1.4 times more likely to buy products they found on TikTok compared to other platforms. And the users are also saying, with this beautiful stat you say here, users are 1.5 times more likely to convince a friend or a family member to try a product they found on the app, which I found interesting. But also, I can honestly say that I have fallen into the shopping experience and also just the short reels and generator content about, you'll see a person using or demoing a product and giving their real live feedback on what their thoughts are. I have absolutely fallen down that funnel because, that's coming directly from a person. I'm watching them test out the product and their emotions as they're using it. You know what I mean? So again, this makes sense. And here's another shift is, people, just don't go there. They go there to learn new things versus just be on the newest dance moves, which I think everybody initially thought that was, and was this younger generation audience. But this platform is actually branching out into other demographics as well. And of course, kind of supporting that thought with e-commerce. So seamlessly, it moves users from viewing content to making a purchase without leaving the app. Yes, I am at fault. I have definitely gone down the rabbit hole and found myself at the checkout, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I get here? So it increases sales with a humanized marketing, okay? Native app, and it's native in-app experience marketplace, shoppable content included in Google search results. So 62% of TikTok users on the platform find that product reviews, recommendations, and the social media, like the usage for it being in social media marketers' strategies has increased 15% year over year. And the verticals that were driving impact on TikTok were retail, tech was on there, finance, and auto. And then also one perk I want to do before we move on, the targeting advertising on TikTok. So it offers various formats of ad creative formats, and then also a targeting options to reach specific audience likely to buy. Now let's go into the SEO and branding benefit of TikTok, right? So over 2 in 5 Americans use TikTok as a search engine. So 52% of US adults on TikTok have never even posted a video on the platform that are using it for a search engine, which is really crazy to me. But, you know, the vertical is highly engaged, and TikTok content creates a massive brand awareness. When users see a product on TikTok, they often turn to Google to search for the brand name or the product name or that specific or a specific phrase. And the 27% of marketers are increasing their investments in TikTok in 2026 and beyond just Google. And so this is definitely, TikTok creates the demand and interest, right? Google search ads captures that demand when the user takes that next step to search for it. All right, let's go to LinkedIn. As a professional, business-based social media network, of course, LinkedIn is the best for B2B marketing. LinkedIn makes up over half of all the social traffic to B2B websites and blogs, and 80% of B2B leads come from LinkedIn. So, and the video is on the rise for creative content formatting at 36% year over year. So LinkedIn is an audience of trusted professionals, okay? They're looking to form relationships. It brings more trusted source of content marketing or content contribution to higher engagement rates. And it's also great for employee advocacy, encouraging your employees to organically promote their brand or the company's brand. And then, if I'm sure you guys have seen and even engaged in some of these posts, but the long form content, it sees the greatest number of views, likes, comments, shares on LinkedIn. One more, as we kind of cover, I want to break down the different creative types and LinkedIn engagement, what it looked like in 2025, looking forward to this year. It's no Instagram, right? But LinkedIn's organic engagement rate is nearly doubled than that of Facebook's. So, and it makes sense. People use that platform specifically for business and networking purposes, and they are naturally recipient of posts and messages of transactional marketing nature, okay? So it's long form documents presented in carousel forms. I'm sorry, presented in carousel forms that are lots of attention. In fact, one of our best performing pieces of content on LinkedIn is putting that PDF as a carousel. And so the multi-image post has the most engagement type on LinkedIn. And we're also seeing that in our end. So LinkedIn displays those native documents like PDFs and Word docs as carousels that can really boost up click-through rates and engagement rates. Let's break it down by industry. So most popular categories or industries that you see here for LinkedIn is information technology, it's healthcare, construction, retail, and the education management. IT in particular makes up almost 30% of all profiles on LinkedIn. But I do like the variety and widespread of verticals for when it comes to marketing and connecting with them on LinkedIn. I love the widespread. So now let's get to the big point. Why trying to be everywhere often leads to weaker results? Let's talk about it. Because consistency is key. And yes, I saw a lot of you say that that was your biggest challenge in the question box. So my thing here is intentional consistency converts. So stay focused on your purpose, delivering that value to your audience, and maintaining a steady presence to build trust and turn engagement into sustainable growth. Because the brutal truth is inconsistency doesn't just slow down lead generation, right? It kills trust. There's a lot of, competition out there, especially on social. That piece of content you posted, could be gone in a flash, and your competitor's now in front of them. So it's really a competitive landscape. So when buyers can't clearly see who you are, who you serve, and what you offer, they aren't likely to convert. And so how do you stay consistent? And it's not just about posting, how many posts you do every week. That's not what I mean by consistent. What I mean by consistency is it's rooted in strategy. It keeps you organized and focused on growing the right audience for your business, and helps you map out those platforms that you want to use, how to target your audience, what are the content types that you're finding your audience engages with most so you can continue to publish that, and how are you going to increase engagement ongoingly, right? And real talk, social media is a lot right now, and I've seen pressures to keep up and put it all, and it puts so many businesses off track, and many are chasing these trends instead of building strategy. And when people ask me, even on LinkedIn, they'll say, ask my advice to how do you stand out, like, from all the noise and actually turn social into a lead gen machine. I stand firm on the golden rule of developing a targeted social media strategy that is embedded in intention. And this is kind of a good starting place I like to give to just really define your why. Like, what's the purpose on social? Like, why is your business on social media? What are you hoping to accomplish here? What are you offering? So here's the formula for to define your why on social media. So your brand's social media presence is where your target audience can find this type of content for this benefit. And that gives you a clear road. And if you ever feel like you've got to keep up with trends and you feel like you're getting lost in the noise, this is your why of truth, right? And because brands want to go viral, right? They don't know who they're talking to. They don't know what problem to solve. They don't know what to say in the content. I think this is a really good way to just simply define and keep that source of truth. In that consistency, it's covering your social selling. So social media is one of the most powerful sales channels. Making sure social selling is a consistent part of your social strategy is key. Of course, you want to be, human, and you want to share educational content. You want to be diverse, yes, but you've got to stay consistent on, because of course, lead gen is the top goal for social for many of us on this call, right? It certainly was for businesses we surveyed in our latest reports, as you see here. So when we asked businesses what their top sources were for website traffic, and what their strategies were they were currently using to drive leads, social media was the top response. So making sure social selling is a consistent part of your social strategy is absolutely key. Now, my next point on why trying to do it all probably gets you weaker results, the main takeaway. Trying to do it all doesn't mean you shouldn't, your business may not align with content types or attributes of every social platform, and that's okay. Concentrating on the platform and strategies that yield the best leads. And so how do you do that? You start by just focusing on your core channels. where is your audience spending the most time? Where are they engaging? What platform are they engaging on the most? Okay. So to optimize your strategy, you have to identify where your brand will be most active and focus on considering the follower count, the competitor activity, where your target audience spends the most time, right? And once you've identified and selected down to your primary channels, you can turn your attention to setting the schedule, brainstorming content. In other words, create a content calendar and next steps. But I really think breaking down and looking at some of these stats, like the demographics that we have for the audience, the average user on these platforms, what type of content and the strategies, and what are some of the cons to consider for each of these platforms. And then maybe I recommend picking maybe your top 3 to 5, and just really grounding and being intentional and connecting, and knowing that your audience is there and providing value. And then going back to mapping your buyer personas to your social, right? I think this is a really good practice. And I think, so pulling your buyer persona or your ideal audience and mapping them to these socials, you can brainstorm like which platform do each persona spend time on, and what type of content does each persona engage with. I think that's a very good place to start here, in mapping out just the interest and then matching it back to the social landscape. And this is a very, very important takeaway here, guys. I'm so sorry, I apologize. Visibility today is more than just posting. It's about analyzing and what works and optimizing accordingly. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure that those are off so they do not bother us anymore. Sorry, guys. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. Visibility is more than just posting. It's about analyzing what works and optimizing accordingly. So let's unpack what that really means. SEO. The top 5 social media platforms show up on Google search ads results today. The borders of traditional SEO have been breached. SEO is certainly not dead. In fact, it's evolving even into GEO, and but the fact that it's now involving and incorporating social media platforms, it's, you may go to a search results page and you see a YouTube video, an AI answer, a Reddit thread, a Yelp listing, an Instagram post, all in one keyword search, right? And so it is critical. Like, visibility isn't just about the posting consistency, it's about optimizing your content for search as well. And that looks like descriptions, the alt tags. Those hashtags now are becoming relevant to the optimization and searching and being able to find you in platform, but then also in the outside in the actual search engines of Google. So SEO is definitely critical in that visibility, not just about posting. And then let's talk about staying visible means regular audits and landscape checks that help you maintain a strong presence. So setting up regular progress internally or with a third-party partner to see how your performance metrics stack up against your goals compared to competitors. These could be monthly, quarterly. They should be also annually. And competitor research is extremely valuable part of audits, right? And progress reports to figure out the landscape and how you stand out from the noise. Let's say that you can even find a weakness on what they're not really hitting too much on, or you're not seeing a lot of engagement on like a certain post type. But hey, like, you could probably take that over your strategy and learn how to do it better. So that is a very important piece in audits and these progress reviews. And lastly, of course, reporting and analytics, because data tells you exactly where you need to focus on social. So social media marketing without analytics is like going on a road trip from point A to point B across country with no GPS. And you might get there, right? But you'll waste a lot of time. It'll definitely take wrong turns, and you're gonna, if you're running social ads, you're gonna burn through your budget. So reporting tools like ours, like, they can give you a clear dashboard, right? So you can exactly see what is working, what's not, and like where to steer your strategy for what's next. If something isn't working, how you can pivot. Something is really working, double down. Okay, now wrapping it up with thought starters. Okay, I can't wait to share this point with you guys. Trying to reach customers with a broad, unfocused social media. I'm gonna give you another analogy. It's like fishing with a giant net. And sure, you're gonna catch something, but is it actually contributing to your goals, that purpose, that why we defined earlier? Are you meeting the audience, your ideal audience, where they are and staying relevant to their needs? So after being in social media marketing game for almost a decade, one thing stands true through all the noise and all the updates is it works for you when you work it with intention. So know who and how you will reach your ideal audience is being intentional with your time, your money, and your growth. And a couple more takeaways for you guys before we jump into the live Q&A. So a few thought starters. Reflect on resources. Build a system that works for you even when you're not working. Because if your marketing is costing you sleep or sanity or scatter focus, which I feel you, I hear you, I see you, it's time to invest in systems that gives you leverage rather than more to manage. You know, especially in this where we are right now with technology and AI and all the tools and resources out there. Really think that just moving forward, reflecting on resources is very critical. And don't do it all. I think after all that we covered today, it shows to be just more intentional. You know, can doesn't mean you should, and don't let your focus on your strategy chase trends, right? Find out the platforms your audience is on and is most active on, and just really just do best practice in delivering that value. And then last one to cover, reporting and analytics. Investing in a reporting platform to track your growth and show where you're having success and where to shift your resources is absolutely critical. It is absolutely just that is being intentional with your investment, not only with your time, not only your money, but your growth. So it's critical to just know what's working, and so you're just not in this vicious cycle. And with that, I see like so many chats coming through. Actually, that was a lot of information and a lot of questions. And you know, with AI now impacting social media, how to get discovered, ranked, recommended, it's overwhelming to keep up with, you know, trying to create posts, engage, analyze, gosh. But if you're stretched thin and trying to do it all, like, then one thing I want you to know is social media shouldn't feel like a second full-time job. It should feel like an asset that's working for you. And so if you want to see where your current strategy is actually costing you in time, maybe missed visibility, and how to fix it, we're offering a free assessment, and the audit's free. Nothing to lose, only insight to gain. If you're interested, just click yes on the poll. And again, I'm seeing a bunch of questions in the question box flow in, and I really can't wait to answer them in our live Q&A. So while everybody's settling back in and answering the poll, let's get to it. Let's dive in, guys. All right, let's unpack the content that we covered today. Okay. Examples of best practices. Let's do this one. Examples of best practices for social selling, going live for a property tour. Ooh, okay. If you're talking like property tour, which I'm going to assume that you are in real estate or something like that, yes, I do think, because that's product discovery, right? They get a live demo and a live walkthrough, and so they have expectations. And then if they're in love, they can immediately message you in platform and engage with you, ask questions, schedule with you in platform. Or if you have that embedded link in that video content, directing them to a scheduling a tour, like, you know, you can prompt them to that. I do think going lives, I do think that any video content that can immerse them with either what you're trying to sell, could be a product demo, whatever it may be, would be a great one. I think another best practice for social selling is really leaning in on those influencers. And I know I saw several questions coming about this. So thinking about influencer marketing from an engagement, organic standpoint, and then a paid. yes, you can partner with other major influencers that you see have a large following on social media that are really relevant to your industry or your service, that will either use your product and give a review that, you know, they'll do their job in influencing, right? And those can be paid partnerships. Now, organic social selling in this influencer marketing, I really think you could even leverage your people internally. You know, I really believe that you can look into your staff, your employees, to help you influence your brand and grow awareness on your brand. Another organic tactic is, you know, if you're a local small business and you, obviously being local, you have community connections. I guarantee you that they probably want the influencer marketing and the, you know, visibility in this too. So just reaching out and asking about, like, to collaborate on a piece of content, I think is a really great best practice for social selling as well. And then most important for social selling, don't just think about what you're putting in front of them, the video, that creative, whatever it may be. Think about the user experience after they get off of the platform. Let's say that you take them back to your website. Make sure that the landing page and the content is being direct and you're providing a good experience with that form fill. You don't want to take them through this like endless amount of content when you already captured the interest, you know, to make that user experience more seamless and less clicks, the better. I think that is going to lead you to higher conversion rates. That's a really great practice on social selling. Okay. Let me pull a couple more. Yes, you will get an email of this. Well, you will get an email with all of the slides, all of the notes, and recording of this session. And if you want to rerun it again, it'll be posted on our YouTube channels, Local IQ. Okay, what app do you use to create TikTok besides Lemon8? I've actually never heard of Lemon8. So apps to use to create TikTok content, I would say CapCut is probably the most popular one for TikTok content. It is actually like directly integrated to where as soon as you're done editing, it'll post it for you. Even it lets you make edits after you post it from CapCut, but CapCut's super easy to use, really a great tool for video editing or creating video content. I think that's a great tool. Let's go to a few more. Okay. What type of content sells for need-based e-commerce type of industry? Sells for a need-based e-commerce type of industry. Well, I mean, being in marketing, you know, your product or service, there's a reason you exist is because people need it, you know? And so if it's e-commerce type, for a product, we really covered some really good stuff today. It could be, right, like that you could be showcasing your store. It could be a new product launch that you could just be excited to share with them on social media. You could go live and, you know, do that influencer marketing. If it's e-commerce, it could also be optimizing your product listings in a marketplace that is available in these apps, right? Like, so Instagram's got a marketplace, TikTok's got a marketplace. So if it's a product e-commerce that your product type you're talking about, they have a marketplace, and basically you can have like an in-app store experience that takes them directly to that conversion. So making sure that you are present on that and utilizing that, definitely recommend. If it's a service, there's a lot of different ways also to convert from there. Like, for example, embedding that schedule link, including that in your bio, talking about even just the convenience of that you can provide them in that service, the benefits, constantly just providing and educating them on your service and the benefits of it, and maybe even seasonal that they may need the most, you targeting them and publishing more content then. I think it would be a great one too. We got time for one more question. Okay, let me see. There's so many. Okay, let's see. Oh my goodness, there's so many. Thank you guys for engaging. I appreciate it. What types of content performs well in YouTube ads for the home improvement industry? That's a very good question. For the home improvement industry, I definitely think transformation videos, like maybe even before and after I could see what is trending right now in home improvement sector. Just sharing and inspiring people for that creativity, see what other people are doing, and like maybe even case studies or examples of stuff like that. And even just educating them on the resources, like what all goes into this home improvement project, right? There's the plumbers, there's, you've got all these different people that come together for this big project. I think even educating the scope of what all goes into it would be a really great form of content to provide on those platforms on YouTube. And of course in video format, right? So even if it's just you talking about it in that ad, I could even see like a quick animation if you don't really want to, have a human facing self-recorded video for that ad on YouTube. Any animation to like prompt them to maybe a video on your website or a case study on your website for that home improvement industry, I think would be a great case example. Okay, guys, I have thoroughly enjoyed this. Thank you all so much for joining me today. This was great. And I can't wait for you guys to come back and join us again for another session. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you again soon. Bye, guys.